What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one. Got to go to Hennepin County, Minneapolis. Now, this is crazy what we're about to see on this video. I'm going to react to it after I show it. We're going to get right into it because it's a lot of controversy surrounding this. And we talked about, Tyreek Hill, some of those race issues like that, right? Where people saying he should have complied. Other people is like, nah, it still was excessive, and difference of opinions can come from things like this. I think this video you're about to see right now, if you hadn't seen it already, there is no one that's going to be on the other side of this. We're all going to agree that this was excessive, and we're going to look at the police force like, hey, what do you mean? What are you saying? This man, his neighbor fired out at him uh, from I guess the second story of the building or whatever, hit him, uh, fractured spine, two broken ribs, a concussion. That's crazy, right? And they're talking about this guy had 3 active arrest warrants. So I wonder why he hadn't been arrested in the first place. He hasn't been arrested since this incident happened that I'm about to show you. Let's check it out.
This was a shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate KARE 11 shows David Matori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The bullet went down through my neck and then all the way back to my spine.
Matori told NBC affiliate KARE 11 he's also recovering from broken ribs and a concussion. Adding, the last 11 months since he and his wife moved in, they've been living a nightmare next door to John Sh0t. Court documents show the victim called police 19 times prior to the shooting for incidents including harassment, hate speech, and verbal threats. It also says Sh0t suffers from mental illness. Sh0t has been charged with attempted murder, but he is not in jail. Police allowing him to stay in his home because they say he's a threat to himself and others.
The likelihood of an armed, violent confrontation where we may have to use deadly force with the suspect in this case is high.
That excuse sparking community outrage.
We have to take violent criminals off the street. So I'm not a police officer. I don't know how that gets done, but I know it needs to get done.
Police say Sh0t rarely leaves his home, and the department has not set an arrest date.
We are not going to bust the door down, guns blazing, and get into a deadly force situation, but we will ensure the community will be safe.
Matori says he feels the Minneapolis Police Department failed to protect his family by not arresting his neighbor when they needed them most.
If you're saying you're scared, what does that do to me, Like, you have this body armor, you have professional training.
Dana Griffin, NBC News.
So update. He was arrested at 1:30 this morning. And I'm going to pin my man's GoFundMe down there, the Matori family, to recover from this crime. Now I'm going to read what the wife said, Caroline Matori. And she says this: I wish I could say it's hard to believe my family is going through this. Unfortunately, what has happened to my husband is one of many instances of a lack of justice for Black men. We brought our first home in September of 2023. What should have been the start of a wonderful chapter with my husband became a living nightmare. Shortly after moving in, our neighbor began harassing us, threatening us, and stalking us. Despite multiple calls to the police for help, we were consistently informed nothing could be done. At one point, an officer who responded to our distress told us to just move out. Our neighbor attempted to attack Davis with a gardening tool while 10 feet in the air doing housework on a ladder. On a separate instance, John, our neighbor, chased him with a shovel. Despite these frequent acts of violence, a warrant was only issued when his white wife, reported I was being verbally threatened. In addition, Davis did manage once to physically restrain John when he was outside with the other neighbors and witnesses present. 911 was called and officers arrived to the scene only for officers to let him go, despite there being an active warrant out for his arrest. We have reached out to every support service for assistance. Despite my husband nearly losing his life, the head of the 5th Precinct, Christy Nelson, and the chief MPD, Brian O'Hara, have informed us they will not enter his home to execute the warrant for his arrest. He has been charged with attempt among many other felony level charges. However, he remains comfortable at home and is an ongoing threat to public safety. We have reached the point where we need everyone to be outraged with us and demand action. How many times does the country need to see the justice system fail black men before the system changes? My husband is laying in a hospital bed from a wound to his neck, which traveled a downward trajectory to fracture T7 and two ribs. In addition, he had suffered a concussion and had a chest tube inserted in his side to drain blood from his lungs. Due to the inaction of the MPD, once my husband is discharged from the hospital, he will be unable to recover in the comfort of his own home. We have no idea as to when it will be safe to return home as the police continue to protect this man over the safety of the community. My heart is broken. We aren't safe in our home. I can't bring myself to think of where we would be had the angle of the bullet been slightly different. My husband is alive with no thanks to the MPD or Mayor Frey. We will fight not only for the justice we deserve, but also the protection and safety of our community we cherish. So that's what her GoFundMe says, and I'm going to pin that at the top of the comment section. I want you guys to, if you're able to support them. You never expect things like this to happen. So I want to read that. And to me, it's absolutely insane when you look at how the police are trying to protect this guy. He has 3 active arrest warrants, um, and it took them 5 whole days to arrest him after someone was, uh, hit with a bullet and taken to the hospital that he fired. Like the fact that it took 5 days and the way that the police chief was up there at the press conference saying, we're not going to put his life in jeopardy when he done put another life in jeopardy, just reminds you, how corrupt things can be. This is absolutely insane, man. The fact that it took 5 days and putting this in the name of mental illness, because I've seen someone with mental illness not get this treatment from law enforcement, and I've seen people of all colors that have mental illness not get this courtesy extended to them. But I definitely, seen it with people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? So there's no excuse for this. This man needs to, if he's truly mentally ill, why ain't he in a padded room somewhere? Where that he truly wouldn't be a threat to anybody behind a cell that he can't physically break with a padded room. So that's my thoughts. If he's a danger to others in the prisons, those people are a danger to others too. So maybe he should be there with other dangerous people. Some of these guys that's benching over 600 pounds and, all they do is lift weights and fight and box and all that. And we'll see how much of a threat he is in there without his weapon and, when it's time to square up with someone who's physically superior to him. So I don't want to hear that he's best left alone at home. You know what I'm saying? Not when there's other people walking around trying to live their life. Anything might set him up. He could hear the if now I'm saying if he's truly mentally disturbed, people like that get set off by hearing a chainsaw go off or something like that. This man has had all these instances here. Seems to be fueled by race, if you ask me, because you wouldn't use them epithets if it wasn't in your heart. You know what I'm saying? If you was mentally ill, you would be saying something totally different. You wouldn't just go straight for the race. It seemed like to me he might have something going on, but he also is well aware of what he's saying and doing, and he's picking his targets. And if this happened over 19 times, they done call the cops and they say, well, just move, like something you done paid for, just move. That's the answer. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section. This should be interesting. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.